Okay, we all know that exact stomach-dropping feeling, right? You open your mailbox, sift through the junk mail and bills, and bam, there it is. An official-looking envelope from the Miami-Dade County Clerk of Courts. A jury summons. Your mind literally starts racing. How much work am I going to miss? Where do I even park? What if I'm out of town? Well, take a deep breath. Today, we're going to transform that panic into total empowerment. Consider this explainer your ultimate survival guide. We're going to walk through exactly how to check your jury duty status online in Miami-Dade County, step by step using the official sources so you know exactly what to expect and what you actually need to do.
Here is our quick roadmap for today's explainer. We'll cover the jury summons shock, avoiding scams, navigating the Clearview portal, decoding your status, troubleshooting, and finally, your civic duty.
All right, Section 1, the jury summons shock and overcoming anxiety.
You know, when you receive a legal document demanding your presence, uncertainty is pretty much the natural first reaction. Just look at this post from a real Miami Reddit user. They asked, summoned for jury duty on standby, do they let you know the night before? And honestly, this perfectly captures the anxiety out there. I mean, standby sounds like you're just waiting around at an airport gate, right? It's super confusing. But don't worry, we're going to clarify exactly how this standby timeline works and how it actually protects your schedule. But first, before we get to the timeline, we absolutely have to talk about security.
Section 2, avoiding scams and protecting yourself. Because jury duty is a legal obligation, scammers love to prey on our fear of getting in trouble with the law. So knowing how to spot a fake is absolutely critical. According to official alerts from the Clerk of Courts, these scammers are getting incredibly sophisticated. They're literally spoofing caller IDs so it looks like the police or the courthouse is calling you. And then they'll aggressively threaten you with financial penalties or even arrest if you don't pay a fine right then and there. Listen to me carefully on this one. The official Miami-Dade County Clerk's office will never, ever call you to demand payment over the phone, ask for a wire transfer, or request payment in gift cards. If someone does this, hang up immediately. It is 100% a scam.
Now, this brings us to a massive source of confusion. In Miami, you could actually be summoned for state court or federal court, and they use completely different online systems. It's kind of like a giant puzzle. If you have a Miami-Dade County summons, you must use the Clearview Justice Portal. If you just Google jury duty portal and end up on something called the e-juror program, you're going to find yourself completely locked out and confused. E-juror is for the federal district courts, like the Southern District of Florida. Today, we're focusing squarely on the county system, which is the Clearview portal.
Moving right along, Section 3, the Clearview portal and secure access.
Now that we know which system we need, let's walk through exactly how to access it safely. Step 1 is simple but vital. Always type the official website directly into your browser, which is miamidadegovernmentclerk.gov. Try to avoid clicking random search engine links just to make sure you don't land on a phishing site. Once you're on the homepage, look for the juror section. It's usually right there in the main menu or top services. Finally, step 3. Click the link for the Clearview Juror Portal. This right here is your secure gateway to handle the whole shebang related to your summons. Okay, so once you're in the portal, you'll need to verify your identity. You have 2 options for this. Option 1 is your juror ID, which is printed right there on your physical summons. Option 2 is using your Florida driver license or state ID number. But here is a major pro tip. You must enter your ID completely without dashes. Just the letters and numbers. Seriously, you wouldn't believe how many people get locked out just because of a pesky dash. Pair that with your exact date of birth, month, day, and full year, and boom, you are securely logged in. All right, Section 4, decoding your jury status and what it means. So, you've logged in, you've completed the mandatory questionnaire, and now you're staring at your portal dashboard. But what does it all actually mean? Let's answer that Reddit user's question from earlier. Miami-Dade operates on a 1-day/1 trial standby protocol. This is actually designed to make your life easier. It means you're on call for a specific week, but you don't just show up to the courthouse blindly. On the Friday before your start date, you'll receive an email, or you can just check your portal for your exact reporting instructions. If you aren't selected for a trial by the end of your first physical day, your service is complete. It vastly limits the disruption to your schedule, for sure. But what if you absolutely cannot serve?
Well, the Clearview portal is also where you handle postponements and excusals. Now, keep in mind, the clerk's office can't just excuse you because you're busy at work. They're bound by strict statutory criteria. For example, expectant mothers can be excused, but you'll need a medical certificate. Parents who aren't employed full-time and have custody of a child under 6, you can be excused too, but you need proof of employment status and a birth certificate. Folks over 70 can use their ID to request temporary or permanent inactivation. And if you've moved out of Miami-Dade, you simply upload a copy of your new out-of-county driver license. Basically, it's all about having the right documentation ready to upload into the portal.
Section 5. Troubleshooting and pro tips. Because let's face it, things don't always go perfectly according to plan, do they? Paperwork gets lost, technology glitches out. First common issue, you accidentally threw away the summons with the junk mail. Or, the dog ate it. Don't panic. As we covered, the portal is totally designed for this. You don't actually need that physical paper to check your status or complete your questionnaire. Just log into the Clearview portal using your Florida driver license and your date of birth. You can still fulfill your duty and avoid any penalties without that piece of paper. Now, what if your trial isn't actually at the courthouse? Miami-Dade's 11th Judicial Circuit has been pioneering remote civil jury trials using Zoom, and we've got some fascinating data from their pilot program. Out of 12 jurors who logged into the remote trial using a smartphone, 5 of them experienced significant technical difficulties. That's nearly half. While 7 smartphone users had no issues, those are incredibly risky odds when you're dealing with something as important as the justice system. And this really matters because the stakes are incredibly high. According to the pilot report, 4 out of 5 jurors that experienced technical issues indicated that they were not confident that the online jury selection process would produce a fair and impartial jury. Just think about that for a second. A dropped connection or frozen screen on a phone didn't just annoy the user, it actively eroded their confidence that the defendant was getting a fair trial. When you miss key testimony because your phone lagged, well, justice is compromised. Because of these real risks, we have an absolutely essential pro tip for you. If you're selected for a remote Zoom trial, do not use your smartphone. Actually, scratch that. Just don't even think about using your phone. Always use a desktop or laptop computer with a really stable internet connection. Not only is it going to make your life 100 times less frustrating, but you are directly contributing to a fair, smooth, and impartial judicial process. Finally, Section 6, Civic Duty and Next Steps. We've gone through the mechanics of the portal, the scams, and the tech. Now let's kind of reframe this whole experience. First, we really have to acknowledge the stakes here. $100. That is the statutory fine you can face in Florida if you simply ignore your jury summons and fail to report without a court-approved deferral. And honestly, it's not just a fine. It's literally considered contempt of court. The tools are all right there in the Clearview portal to request a postponement if the timing is truly terrible for you. There's really no excuse to just ignore it. But hey, here's the silver lining. Once you log in, complete your questionnaire, and physically serve your duty, the state protects you. You are legally shielded from being summoned again for exactly 1 year and 1 day after your service. So once you do it, you can breathe easy for at least a year, knowing you've done your part. Now, as we wrap things up, we've got to include our mandatory disclaimer. This explainer is strictly for informational purposes to help you navigate the system. It does not constitute legal advice. If you have highly specific personal issues, an active criminal case, or a unique medical situation, you really should contact the Miami-Dade County Clerk's Office directly. Their number is 786-828-5879. They have dedicated staff ready and waiting to assist you. I want to leave you with this final thought. It is so easy to view jury duty as a frustrating chore, just another interruption to our incredibly busy lives. But look at this question. If the justice system relies on a jury of your peers, how will your unique perspective shape the next trial in Miami-Dade? When you log into that Clearview portal, you are just filling out a form. You are taking your seat at the table of American democracy. You're ensuring that the system remains fair, balanced, and truly representative of our community. So the next time that envelope arrives, no way are you going to panic. You know exactly what to do. Log in, get ready, and go make a difference. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.